This is the market update for May 2026 for the sales numbers from April. These are from RAE, the Realtors Association of Edmonton. We're going to look at the greater Edmonton area and specifically dive into Spruce Grove and Stony Plain numbers. And what we're seeing, everything is up. We've got sales up, we got listings up, and we've got inventory up. So if you ever want to reach out and find out how some of these market shifts and changes and some of the things happening with interest rates may affect you, feel to reach out directly. I'd be more than happy to look at how this is affecting your situation specifically. So let's dive into those numbers a little bit further. We talk about sales inventory. So the sales were actually increased by 16.4% through April over the same time in March of 2026. And over a year ago, it's actually down slightly by 8%. Listings are up 13.9% and 9.1% over the same time last year. So we are seeing that a little bit of a lift in the listings coming onto the market. That is giving us a big jump in the inventory. So the inventory coming from March of 2026 into April was up by 11.3%, but the big number is the same time last year, it's now up by 31.4%. So what this is really living with us right now is something the market segment is seeing a little bit more of a balanced market, whereby we get around that 3, 4, 5 month worth of inventory. That's just giving a nice little balance between people coming into the market in relation to the inventory. And it does help keep things a little bit more consistent from a price perspective. Now, when we look at the overall selling price, so that's taking in all residential homes, townhomes, condos, townhouses, we have an average sale price coming in at $478,900. So that's up slightly by 1.7% from March of 2026, and it's on par from the same time in April. If we break down the average selling price by property, we are seeing that the detached single-family homes are coming over just at $589,000, and that is slightly up over the same time last year. Semi-detached, which are our duplex units, are coming in at $423,000. That's down about 3% over March, and actually down over the same time April 2025 by just under 3% at 2.7. Townhomes are up slightly at 1.7% for an average selling price of $313,000. And condos, interesting enough, we're seeing an increase March to April at 6.5% and coming up over the same time April by 3.4. So that average selling price is coming in just under $226,000. Now, when we look at the market specifically for Stony Plain and Spruce Grove, sales numbers in Spruce Grove had 75 units sell through in April, and that is down by about 5 units from the same time the prior year. Stony Plain was 47 unit sales, and in 2025, it was the same number at 47. A little different when we look at the average selling price. The average selling price in Spruce Grove through April was coming in at $510,000, and that's down by about $20,000 from the same time last year. Interestingly, in Stony Plain, the average selling price that was coming through in April was at $379,800. So it's just showing us that, really there was a little bit more of an average sale price coming in a little lower. So not the big home hit prices that we were seeing in Spruce Grove at the same time. But what it does show is that there's some really great opening price points for first-time home buyers trying to get into a market. Stony Plain might be a great place to look at a little further. Now, one of the things we definitely love to look at it, what are the big hitters? So the big selling prices, there was actually a single family home in Windermere that sold for $3.9 million. We had a duplex sell out for $1 million, and that was along Saskatchewan Drive. And there was a townhouse in Glenora that sold for $1.8 million and a condo at $2.7 million in Strathcona. So we're seeing a big draw along that area. Definitely that's bringing in those views of the river valley, access to the parks and the trails, which is always a big pull. Now, looking at where interest rates may be coming into play, what we have seen is a couple of interesting things. First off, just so you know, coming up on June 10th is when the Bank of Canada is going to be meeting again. That's where they're going to determine whether or not the overnight lending rate should be increased, decreased, or stay flat. Important to note with that one is that will dictate where your variable rates will go. All intentions are right now probably staying the same, which is going to be running at about 4.45 for the prime rate. which is giving us a variable rate anywhere from 3.6 to 3.7%. The interesting thing to watch is inflationary pressure is the key indicator. So we've seen an increase in the gas prices, not only directly from the gas prices, but that also is affecting our supplies, our groceries, or merchandise, because the cost of shipping and bringing things around has also increased those. Those increases on gases, on our manufactured goods and our food sources create inflationary pressures, which could lead to the Bank of Canada potentially increasing the overnight lending rate. But there are some other economic factors going in play that may suppress that. So the overall thought that we're looking at right now is that prime rate, the overnight lending rate, which means your variable mortgage rate, is going to probably stay the same. Now, what is important to note is there has been big change around fixed rates. Go back a couple of months ago, 68 weeks, we were seeing fixed rates, 5-year fixed rate money going out right around about 3.95%. That has now jumped up to anything with blenders from 4.35 to 4.45%. Keep in mind, fixed rates aren't worried about what the Bank of Canada is doing so much. They look at the bond market. Different indicators determine how those rates are going to be impacted. The key thing to note is we're seeing those range in the rates. It's really important to sit down with your mortgage lender, ideally your mortgage broker, because he has the ability to shop those rates for you and find the best deal possible. So a lot of exciting things, looking like we're coming into a little bit more of a balanced market, which means it's still a great time to be selling, a great time to be purchasing your first home. If you'd like some more information on how these market conditions may affect you, message me directly, be happy to help, and you have yourself an awesome week, and we'll talk to you next month about where these market trends are heading. Cheers.